tonight is so exciting for me. We have officially launched our relationship series. If you missed last week's show, you need to go back and catch the replay. And if you have not already subscribed to the KDCP network, then you need to do that as well. In fact, that is where you can catch the replay of all the conversations with Deborah Franklin. All shows will now only be replayed there if you missed them live. Well, tonight I want to welcome you to the show. My co-hosts are here. We are getting ready to dive into some more outstanding topics on tonight, talking about all things relationships. And we're going to give it to you straight, no chaser. And it's going, I can't help but say, it's going to be phenomenal. But, before we get started, I do want us to go ahead and talk about some things. And, tonight, just like last night, you will be able to call in and let us know your comments and your questions or anything that you may have. But tonight, I want to open up with, we've been seeing just in this past week, a lot of people have been committing suicide. They have felt like that whatever they were going through was too heavy for them to deal with. Too much was going on, and they felt like the only way that, and I'm speaking from what I think they felt, that they had no other way out, that they had no one else to talk to, that they had no other way to make it through to that next thing. Because, and the crazy part, and so many times we look at people that are celebrities. We look at people that have obtained great status. We look at people that are doing great things, and we think, oh my God, they don't have anybody to talk to. How could they commit suicide? But what we fail to realize is that when they go home at night, they still could be suffering in silence. They still can be going through that battle of their mind, their battle of what is going on around them, that battle. And that battle is real. That battle is real. That battle is real. We have got to start talking to people. Just because they look like they got it together doesn't mean that they really have it together. We have to start looking at and not taking things for granted. And being able to just say, hey, you good? You good? You need somebody to talk to? You need somebody to holler at? Because sometimes that one thing could be the one thing that they need to help turn them around, to give them that outlet, to know that they have a safe place with you, or being able to be there for them when they're going through their time of need. We have got to start thinking about it. And I want to throw this out there, even with you feeling like you're ready to give up on your family. You're ready to give up on your business. You're ready to give up on everything that's around you. You have got to realize that you still have God to call on. You can still in that secret place reach out. And I'm reminded of some things that they probably thought they were cast out. They probably thought that they were left alone. They probably thought that there was no way out, but they kept fighting. They kept pushing. They kept going against the odds. And I'm thinking about that woman with an issue of blood. She had an issue of blood for 12 young years. Now, do you really think as women, we want to go through that issue of blood for 12 years? Nobody that can heal us. Nobody that can be there for us. Now she's been going through this. She's cast out. She's treated like she's nobody. Now, think about it. What if she had been this corporate executive? What if she had been the owner of her own business? What if she had been walking in the limelight and now people are casting her out? People are telling her to kill herself. People are telling her to do all these things, but she kept her word with all. And she's heard that Jesus was coming to town, and she's just gonna push through the crowd. She was like, in her mind, she was like, if I can just touch the hem of his garment. Guys, you got to put your eyes on the prize. You have got to start to know that the prize is there for you to win. You have been set up to win. You are a winner. You can win. You just got to start crawling. If you got to crawl on your belly, if you got to push people out the way, but you have got to touch the hem of his garment. You have got to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that is there for you. Then I'm thinking about two sisters who thought their brother was dead. They had put him in the tomb. They had said he stinks. And then they mad at Jesus because Jesus had to do something else. Then they was like, okay, why you here now? Why you didn't come when we called you? Now our brother is dead. Y'all, you may think the situation that you're in is dead, but guess what? It's getting ready to rise again. You need to call it by name. You cannot let what God has promised you, what you know to be true, to be caught up and locked up in a tomb and cannot be moved. You have got to start reaching up and saying, hey, I got this. Hey, because Jesus is right there. You just got to wait for him to show up. Don't give up hope. This is your time to fight because you are going to win. You have got to fight. You have got to fight. Just start thinking about it. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm a winner. I am destined for greatness. I am destined to make it to the top. I am destined not to be lonely. I will be the head and not the tail. I will be the lender and not the borrower. You just got to keep going, even though it doesn't look like it, even though your account might be negative, even though you feel like you don't have any friends. You have got to keep saying you are a winner. You can beat this fight. You can go to that next level. It doesn't matter what the situation looks like because you got to know that you can win. You don't have to take yourself out. You don't have to take the pill. You don't have to take the gun. You don't have to run and throw yourself in front of a bus. You can win. You have got to trust in yourself and trust in the people around you. Trust in yourself that you can make it to that next level. Yes, I know depression is real. Yes, I know that feeling a certain kind of way is real. But this is your time to push through because it's only darkest before the dawn. You got to know that in the morning it's gonna be all right. It's all gonna work out because it's your time to shine. You are the answers to somebody else's problem. And it's time for you to stand up and be that answer. You will win. And that's what I want you to know. And I want you to feel that and know that because this is your time to win. You have been created for this. You are destined to this. And you are going to win. You are going to show the world that you are a fighter. Just like that woman with the issue of blood, she pushed through until she could touch the hem of the garment. And then he was like, who touched me? That's what it's going to be like. They're going to be like, where she come from? Where he come from? What he doing? Because you have touched the hem of his garment. And now you're getting all power. And you're going to be healed immediately. And that's what I need you to start having, an expectation of immediacy, that it's going to happen immediately, that it's going to happen right now. It might not happen the way you want it to, but guess what? It's getting ready to happen. Well, all right, guys, I love you, love you, love you, love you. I hope you got something out of that motivational moment. If nothing else, that you are a winner and it is your time to fight, your time to survive. We'll be right back. My co-hosts are here, and y'all, we getting ready to talk about side chick versus the main chick. That part right there. I'll be right back with you. Hey, what's up, Leona?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you tonight?
I am good.
Well, y'all, tonight our other co-host, we think she's on the way. As soon as she gets here, we will pop her in. But you know what? The show must go on, and we are here because I promise you, baby, we're gonna take you there. Tonight, we talking about the side chick versus the main chick. And okay, so what's really funny? We really do need to talk about this because the rules have you heard that the rules have changed? Because I really think with all of this, what you call it, pop culture, social media, and these reality shows, it's being glorious to be. People are okay with being the side chick. I ain't understand it. I think I need to sip some tea on that. What you think, Leona?
They proud of it. I don't understand the proudness of being the side chick. But what's even more kind of strange to me is saying that I'm the main chick, because the main chick to me means that there are some people that are in the background. No, I'm trying to be the one and only, but to each his own. New school, not for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not understanding that because I don't even understand the mentality of it, because it used to be if you were the side chick, nobody knew. You were a secret.
Absolutely. You knew your place.
there are no secrets anymore. I'm confused.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Now, I did talk to one of my male friends. I was like, let me tell you, I was like, okay, so this what the topic gonna be. He was like, oh, I need to be on this one. I need to be. I said, you know what? You are hilarious.
Should have
But
said, "Do you have your red lips to match?" Oh,
right,
you have red lipstick on.
right, because this a red lip crew.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I was talking to him. I said, so he said, well, let me tell you how I used to handle it. I said, what? Okay, how you used to handle it? What?
Hmm.
He said, yeah. He said, when I was married, did get to a point that I did have a side piece. I said, oh, really? And he said, but I had rules. He said, now, if the side chick started trying to act crazy, because he was like, I'm going to do drama. If I'm going to do drama at home, I'm not doing drama with the side piece.
You got that right. That's
So,
supposed to be the relief.
talking about they need, how they said, they need Christmas. I can't do Christmas. They need some other time. I can't do that. Then I would cut them off. What you think about that? Oh, wait a minute. Our other co-host is in the building.
Hey, come on in the room. Come on in the room. Hey. See, I'm going to say this when it comes to the rules and stuff, because I actually had a conversation with someone about the rules of the side chicken stuff. And so apparently, when you're a side chick, that man expects you not to have nobody else to be committed to him. Now, how does that work? You want me to be committed to you, but you cheating on her.
That part.
You following rules to a man who cheat?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that either. Okay, thank you for being open and honest and telling me at the end of the day, you gave me a choice to be the side piece. And see, that's the other thing. So many times back in the day, the old rules was you might have been a side piece and didn't even know you was a side piece.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now you getting invitations.
Right.
Right. And you're signing up to not have nobody else.
It's the check box yes, check box no. Mm-hmm. I agree. No.
Because see, I don't understand how you gonna tell me I can't see nobody else, but yet still you married. I'm confused.
I guess I look at it and I kind of ask myself, maybe that's we talked about last week about someone needing the controlling mechanism of men that are in prison or whatever. Maybe that's her control factor to make sure that she never attaches to him because she knows what he is. That he, because if you always, as they say, sometimes it's better to deal with the devil that you know than the devil that you don't. And so she know that he's no good, so she know how to block those feelings. I don't know. So I'm trying to think the logic through because to me, I just don't see volunteering saying you get me only on Wednesday at 9 to 11 p.m. because I got to get back to my wife before 11 because she expected me to be in the bed. I can't. That's not gonna work for me.
I don't get it.
And I think it goes back to what I said last week, where some women, and this is strictly for us women, we just want to say we got somebody. And she can easily say, oh no, he'll be over here on Wednesday at 9. I see him every Wednesday.
And be serious.
I don't know if y'all used to watch a little bit of Sex in the City.
I love it.
You had Mr. Big for a while. So that was, kind of a broadcast thing that, hey, she knew where she was. She understood. Now, did eventually he leave? But
it don't always happen that way.
She stayed in. You got Alicia Keys, who kind of was in that position, moved to the other position. Do you think some people are hoping that they get that fairy tale?
I just had this conversation with somebody earlier today, a friend girl of mine, because we were talking about men and dang, they be having us and we be all about it. This is my man. I got this man. But he ain't yours, boo. Or you think like she might see Leona and her man out. And she thinks she can get that man because her lipstick look just a little bit better than Leona's today. So she might wink a little bit. And that's the reason we don't have trust amongst sisters. hey, I don't trust you around my man. Have you lost your mind? Especially not now.
You can't hide because
Mm-mm.
the boldness, the
Mhm.
inconsideration, the disrespect is
Mhm.
real. It's
Mhm.
broadcast every day on social media. You
Mhm.
see things, and you know, I sometimes I have concern because I have a 15-year-old daughter, and I have to
Mhm.
remind her these things are not what normal women do, not
No,
women. These are
no.
things that little girls do. These are things that women that are actually an embarrassment to us do. We don't. You're not going to get on social media talking about what your boyfriend did with this girl and how you did this and he was mine and what he did last night. We don't do those things.
Yeah.
Even if our grandparents and mothers and stuff knew those things was happening to them, they still wouldn't get out there and have social media. But you wouldn't see
Mhm.
them at church. You wouldn't see them
Mm-mm.
at the grocery store having these kind of conversations or at the Tupperware party. They're not even discussing those things about Jolene, who 5 houses down, who she know he got a son by. They're not doing that. Dude is
No,
back, y'all. He is
no.
back. Can we get him off the chat again? Um, dude from last week. I'm sorry, y'all.
Okay,
Uh,
got it. No problem.
but we just didn't have those, and now these young ladies are getting online and they're broadcast. They're like, "Yeah, you know, he was with me, and and I had him, and then I went to her house, and
Mhm.
did you know I'm pregnant now?" And it's a proud thing, like
Yeah,
it's
like I did that. Well,
that's
what
not
did you do,
true.
sis? What did you do? Did you just break up a home? Did you just now these kids won't have their father at home
Did you
because
forget
it
about karma?
Oh, that right there. That right there. Look, we all need to let me take a sip of tea.
because grandma told me the same way you get him is gonna be the same
Same
way
way
you
you
lose
lose.
it.
And what
Right.
go around, come around.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy
Gone.
part, you gonna be the one to have to. He might not leave, but you're going to be the one to deal with him when he gets sick.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the main chick and the one that knows that he has a side chick. What about them?
You know
It's
what?
just,
I think that's a false sense of security because in their mind, you don't bring me nothing. You as long as you don't bring nothing home, then we good. Long as you don't give me nothing, um,
and
long
so
as you don't,
I'm the one that had the 12-year open relationship. So let's
yeah,
really
yeah,
talk about
go
it.
ahead.
So, man,
Okay, but open is one thing.
but it's the same thing.
But I
And
guess
that's
it
what I
is the
keep
same
trying to
concept.
get people to understand. The
Yeah,
only difference is we had
everybody
a conversation about you about to be fucking these. You about to be out here.
knows. Okay.
You about to be out here sleeping with whoever, whenever, whatever, and I can't say nothing. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. And it's no difference because you still lose trust. So 12 years, y'all. 12 years.
Okay, hold on. You said you still lose trust.
Mhm.
What causes you to lose trust in what you know?
So in this particular situation, he would take it to the extreme. If the three of us were at dinner and he's there with his brother, his friends, his boys, he gonna be playing with your feet. And I gotta sit there and take it. That's too much.
Okay, so
That
if
was not
he was
what I
playing
signed
with
up
her
for.
feet in front of you, so technically you might have been open, but that really sounds like poly.
I think that's what. So back then, so that's how many years? That's 20 years ago. So that was not a thing that was talked about then. Maybe it was a thing, but it wasn't an American thing that we.
No, it wasn't a us thing, I don't think.
So I didn't know nothing about that. And maybe that would have worked out better for him. But my point is an open relationship, being in that open relationship, my soul, is whether I said okay or not, there was a lack of confidence in self.
Mm.
Why was I okay with it? Well, at first, I didn't know it was happening. You was just cheating all over the place. Just blah, 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 blah. And so because you in the NFL, I'm on tour with artists, so we both gone. We just I'm getting people asking me out. You getting people asking you out. We young, 22, 23. We just okay. So here's what I said it. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
But it made sense in your 22 mind.
It did because I didn't want to be
I'm a
worried.
woman, and I don't want to limit you. I want to make sure our relationship stays happy. I get that part.
It wasn't even that. It was just I knew they was after you. You in the NFL. You in there. I don't want to be thinking about it. I don't want to wonder. I don't want to wonder why you didn't answer. I don't want to have no thoughts. Now, he didn't so much want for me to do the same thing, but I did. That's what we did. That's what we weren't going to do it if you weren't going to agree. As long as we're not in the same city at the same time, we could do whatever we wanted to. Now, the agreement was to let the other one know. And it was cool for a really long time, like 5, 6, 7 years. And he got comfortable, like comfortable, like rubbing on my friends' feet, sleeping with my friends, would leave the dinner table with all of us and go with them.
And your friends went?
Yeah.
So they
thought it was they thought he was fine. And he throwing money. Still got NFL money, throwing money. And so in their mind, they getting a piece of the pie because RL seemed happy. That's why I don't trust females. I don't hey.
That's something right there. That's something.
And so I say to women all the time,
I have no words. I have nothing.
And so I went through it, but I promise you, to this day, I was just talking to him earlier today. I don't trust him. I just don't. I don't. He could say, "Here's this 10-carat ring you always ask me for. Let's get married." Who? Me?
So did you have rules? I'm inquisitive. I'm always going to be the inquisitive one. So how do you,
so the only rule was if we're in the same city at the same, well, 2 rules. If we're in the same city, same time, it's us. Nobody else. If anybody ever approach, I'm going to go plumb ballistic. And I went plumb ballistic quite often after those first few years passed because women thought that because I would be gone for a week or 2 at a time, they thought they had him. He knew where home was. Family knew. So they didn't, hey. And so there would be instances where I was just telling my friend this earlier. I was like, I was in the house because it was a holiday because holidays were strictly us. No matter where we were, what we were doing, every holiday, whether it was President's Day, St. Patrick's Day, if it was a holiday, it was us. And so laying across the bed, some chick showed up talking about she left a plate. Now, from the front door to the bedroom, you could see straight back. You could see me laying on the bed. And her question was, why she in the bed? I got up out the bed, closed the door, and laid back down. That's my house. What you talking about? Woo! Yeah. Girl, and so he politely did whatever it was he was supposed to be doing. And then when he came in the room, I said, now see, ain't nobody supposed to be at this door.
You got some patience. That's all I know.
And that's when it really, that's why I say the first few years was okay because we never really crossed paths. But after he got comfortable, at his house, the house we would be at, they would be there. And so in their mind, it wasn't nobody else. It was just them.
Oh, wow. Wow. But it goes back to when we start talking about that trust factor. And then we start talking about our self-esteem about ourselves. And I think that's really what it is. Number one, we don't trust ourselves. Yep. And then we have such a low self-esteem about ourselves because we don't think that we can do any better. Or we go through that, especially when you start getting over 40, over 50. Oh, Lord, I don't want to be by myself. So I'm just going to take the first thing coming. And it's like, do you really want to set yourself up for that?
Yeah. And so for the longest time, because I'll tell you now, I had confidence. I've always had confidence. But something about relationships, just in general, there's a lack of my self-confidence in self. Like, he's mine. This is it. This is us. And it wasn't until after I got over 40 and got into the sexy singles group, I started, maybe maybe I'm not as confident as I thought I was. I'm confident in business. I'm confident at work, confident with my kids, but relationships, there was a something. And so after I began to heal, I realized I had abandonment issues. And so I'm clinging. I got to do whatever. Let me. Let me.
But you said something that I've heard a lot of women say. We are killer in the boardroom, and that means we kill at our jobs. We kill in anything that we do. But when it comes down to relationships, we suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have the communication. We have, like you said, the clingy. Whatever. What you go
Give the whole house away just so you'll stay.
But you know what? To me, that's in our natural element. At home for us is the place that we're supposed to be the submissive, the damsel, where we don't have to be that power person. And I feel, and this is what I've learned from myself in relationships, my trust is gone in that relationship the minute I don't feel like I can be that. The minute I don't feel like I feel like I have to be the superwoman, or I got to pick up the pieces, I got to be the responsible, I got to do all this, then the relationship changes. Then my natural mindset, just like as a mom or anything else, and in a businesswoman, there's a problem. How do I fix it? So I start with myself. I start with, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do?
Yeah.
I'm doing all the doing.
Yes.
And then that's when we flip that mode to the mode that the men don't like to see. When we start telling them, nah, partner, this ain't gonna work. They want to hear that. But really, the reason why we don't do that in the relationship, because that's not what we were built to do.
Right.
We were not built to be the leaders. We were not built to be the boss lady at the house. We're built to be you hungry, honey? That's what we're supposed to be doing. Now, hold on, I gotta go to work, and when I get off, I'm gonna cook this. No, that's not it. Much.
And so, what I'll say to that is, now I didn't know. I really didn't even know what it was to be. Like, I've talked to the group about being submissive. Like, I could see, because I've seen grandma do it. But I didn't know. I didn't know because I've never done it. In my mind, all these men I'm dating, I'm teaching or pulling along or they need. And I thought that's what it was supposed to be. But I know that's what my heart was like. Man, I just want to come home and just cook. What do you need, hon? Okay, yeah. Forget I went to work. I don't give a shit about work. I made that money. I'm home. I don't want to do that. And so now, I told y'all about me the other day, but it's so different and I struggle. I'm actually struggling in the whole submission part of the relationship. And he's very patient because he understands that I've been a boss bitch for 47 years. That's all my life. I was raised that way. They told me I better get it myself. I better figure out how to do it. I change my own tires. I do my oil, whatever. I'm in here fixing stuff. So now to have a man that stands up over you and says, what are you doing?
Move over.
You don't have to do that. He said, and this is our only rule. You need to sit there and be cute.
You want the lipstick?
Okay.
With or without the lipstick. That's what you just said. That's your new answer. Every time you say that.
But it's hard because we've been doing it for so long. It's hard. And so he'll catch me. Like went to the grocery store. I'm used to helping get the groceries out the car. I grab a bag. He completely stopped. We got boys for that. Put that back.
So he teaching them too.
Yeah. I ain't going nowhere. I'm just saying. I'm just
like this.
Wait, look. It's just so different, and I wish I had known earlier, just so I could share with more people, more women. I ain't studying these men, the women, just to share. Just the energy that you feel even more empowered. Like I feel empowered, like I need to go run a marathon or something. I'm not sure what, but I'm going to just sit here.
But it's good to share that. Those are the things that, young ladies need to hear, that there is a consequence to some of those relationships that we tolerate, that we deal with, that we accept. There is a consequence. There is a long-term repercussion that 10 years down the line, when you grow up, because every decade you become a new woman. And when you go into that new decade, you learn from what happened in that past 10 years that you've experienced. And now you have to answer to her. You got to answer to that 20-year-old, because now you're with somebody that's 40, or you're somebody with 50. And now life is different.
Yeah.
Now you got to retrain yourself. And sometimes it's easier for us to just say, girl, you'll learn. But it's different than when we say, let me tell you what I experienced. And so that's something that I feel that we miss out on a lot of times. We like to, I don't want to say let them be grown, because that's kind of the things that, our parents will tell you. You get out there, you want to do grown woman stuff, you're going to get the grown woman responsibilities. I ain't got nothing to do with it. You do it.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we got to go in and say, nah, there's some things I just don't want you to have to experience. There's some things I just don't want you to have to reteach, because then there's another generation that's going to come after you and do the same thing. Let's change our mistakes.
But and I think the key to that is to tell the truth. Because a lot of times we sugarcoat it and we try to make it seem, oh, you got to get you a good man. But if I don't know what a good man is, or I don't know what a good man looks like, or what my expectations are for a good man, how do I know if I got a good one? Outside, I do know that you got to go through trial and error. And I know that every good man is not your man, but you still have to know what is a good man. What quality should I be looking for? Outside of, girl, don't let him hit you. Don't let him talk to you crazy. Okay. But a lot
of better be giving you money, girl.
Right. A lot of times, them the main ones that's dogging you out, that you do end up being the side chick for, or you do end up being the main chick for. But because in your mind, oh, he don't do all this other stuff, so it's okay for me to be the side chick. It's okay for me to be the main chick, because he don't hit me, he don't yell at me. If he say he gonna give me Wednesdays at 9, I'm getting Wednesdays at 9. So that means he's a man of his word.
I don't have to be responsible for him.
Exactly.
She still is. I don't have the risk of the heartbreak. I don't have the risk of the struggle. That's her. So when he's supposed to be giving money to their house and he's giving it and spending it on me, that's not my concern. My bills still get paid, all that kind of stuff, because that's what you hear these young ladies talk about consistently. My bills still get paid. I got a place to stay that he's paying for. She's the one who got to cook for him when he gets home. She's the one that got to deal with his attitude and man. I don't. He come over, he give me what I want and keep on going. But at the same time, you're irrelevant. Because when push comes to shove and you come in public, who are you? And he will treat you just like that.
And if he's got to pick a household to protect, which one is he going to protect?
Whoop, that part.
That's it right there. That's true.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Y'all line up if you want to. But which household he going to be at protected?
Yep.
Who the one he running out of your house to make sure he get back to that house from your house? Yeah, he might be paying the bills, but he's still running out of there.
We know who's really in control.
Absolutely.
Where he trying to run back to.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's the for sure thing. He already know that ain't going nowhere. That got everything. Because that's who really was with him when he was on the come up. Now, he might be treating her any old kind of way, but that's the one that was there for the come up, there for everything, there to put up with all his foolishness, and that's why he's running.
Yep.
And in
you
his
never
mind,
know.
the faithful one. In his mind, that's the faithful one.
Absolutely.
Yep. And you never know. It may be the agreement they have. Because if we had gotten married, we was together 12 years. I want to say it was that 13th year when he was finally like, let's get married. And I was kind of looking crazy, like, to who? What? I don't even, it don't compute. But so somebody else would have married him. And then now you still doing the same stuff.
The same cycle.
And you think you have to put up with it because now you done married him. Heck no. I'm crazy. I don't know what marriage means at this point. What? Ooh, I can't. I'm not.
My answer is I've never been married. But if I get married, my hope is to not divorce. But I will say this to any man, about any man that might be watching this. I may not be able to stop you from cheating, but I'll make sure you won't be the only one. So if you are okay with knowing that when you get in, that I'm leaving and you know where I'm going, play that game with me if you want to.
Mm-hmm. That part.
Because at this point, I think sometimes we also, as women, we hold our tongue. Sometimes we, you know what? If you cheat in my marriage, we're just gonna work through it. We're gonna go through counseling, and we're gonna make things better. No, there is a consequence in this home. There will be a consequence in this home, and the consequence is gonna make sure it's fitting for the crime. And if you don't like it, don't do it. Have some
I'm
second
not
thought.
sure that I can stand by my man on that, because I think, well, for me, I've never been married either, and I just know that I know that if I do get married, I'm not gonna put up with stuff that if I'm married, I'm not gonna put up with stuff that I put up with or kind of sort of put up with when I was single. Because what's the purpose of being married if I still got to worry about if you cheating, if I still got to quote unquote check your phone, and okay, and then this is it. If you feel like you got to check somebody's phone and you got to check somebody, baby, you wasting your time.
It's time to go.
I'm not doing it. I ain't got time.
I ain't got time for it. Because you turning your phone over, you going to the other room, you talk. Well, now let me tell you, somebody every time they call you is an echo. Baby, they calling you from the bathroom. They in the bathroom hiding from whoever's in the bed.
Or if they always taking the trash out.
Give you some tips tonight, baby. This how you know you.
That's a word. That's a word for somebody right there, girl. Yeah. Every time he talk to you, he in the car. It's a word. The shower is running. He about to hop in the shower. The shower's running. That's a word. Oh, he going to the store real quick. You going to the store at 11 o'clock at night for some pop? Boy, you lying. It's a
that part. Oh, I'll be over there in a minute. That minute is really 2 hours. Why did it take you 2 hours to get somewhere and you telling me I live 10 minutes from you? There's a problem.
Yep. You have to get your story straight.
Yeah. And I've never been married before either, but let's see. Has anyone in the audience been married that is married? What do y'all think? How are y'all feeling about the cheating or the other woman?
Scared a lot of people off on this topic, baby, because ain't nobody gonna admit to that. They, you know, when we go get the comments, when it's on the replay, when they think we ain't gonna call them back, then they go, okay, then I'm have to go back in and say, oh, really?
This is an open forum. Jump in. I done talked about a whole open relationship, and I'm sure.
But you know what? That kind of leads us to what's happening next Thursday. Because see, next Thursday we're gonna be talking about all things poly, all things open relationship, all things sleeping in the bed, one man, two women, sharing a house, sharing a family. We're gonna be talking about all that. So if you can't handle this discussion tonight, know that you'll be able to join us next Thursday for the private conversation.
You better get in when you fit in, because it's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be fire. So let's go ahead and we're gonna take a break and we're gonna give some announcements. We're gonna time for some announcements and we're gonna come right back. Cause see, this is our relationship series, y'all. We got 2 more shows that we're gonna be coming on live with my hot topic ladies. I'm so excited about this, y'all. This is just so much fire to me. And then, oh Lord, I hit the wrong button. We have officially launched Ignite You. That is our life coaching through Church Girl CEO, and the Church Girl CEO meet and greet, official launch of the Church Girl CEO magazine foundation. So you need to be in the place, but this is what's going to be fire. The information to get your tickets is in the chat, in the comments. Make sure you go ahead and get your tickets, because I think we can still do pre-sale up until the 8th. You can get your tickets to be in the private conversation. You heard we say private. Exclusive evening conversation. There's going to be no question that will not be answered. This is why it will not be live.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to talk about his whole
you might have to edit
adult line.
No.
That part. Y'all, I'm just trying to tell you, if you have not gotten your ticket, I don't even know what to tell you. that this is going to be an exclusive evening with Kevin Wesley. If you have not done your research on him, you definitely, if you've never heard of him, I promise you, you need to go check him out, because this conversation going to be fire, because his story alone messed me up. Uh, and just to hear and see the relationship that he has with both of, and I'm still not sure, is he married to both of them, or he married to one and the other, or I'm not sure how all of that's working, but yeah. So we're going to be talking about, polyamory. What's it? What's the lifestyle about? And we talked about open relationships. And then, so if we're talking about open relationships, that goes right into what we're going to be talking about next week. And that's why I said it sounds like poly, because at the end of the day, some of us are in poly relationships and don't know it. We just not all in the same house. I'm just trying to tell you.
That is true.
And then poly has so many different levels to it. And that's what messed me up as well. Because I was like, because with them, their poly is that the women are heterosexual. So they're only sleeping with him and not each other. So some poly relationships, the women are gay.
Yeah.
And everybody sleep with everybody. So I was like, that's a whole lot going on. I'm confused. Okay, so I did do some research.
So you gotta get your research.
I had definitions. I went ahead and I looked at, well, what is it? Poly, living a poly life. We looking for a partner, something like that. Some kind of reality show. I checked it out. Baby, they got a bunch of rules. And I was like,
that's what I was, my interest is. What are these rules? How do you set boundaries? Because in everything that you do, you got to have some set of boundaries. So how do they get established? How do you, is it that if you meet somebody and they're already in the poly life, do you adapt to their rules? Do you create your own together? Is there a set for the whole community? Like, how does this work? Like,
So I would think, from the research I did and from just being in that open relationship, it really depends. So like, I set the rules for that open relationship because it was my idea. So my thought would be that it's probably the man, depending on the dynamic in the home. So I sent Deborah one where it's a woman with 3 husbands. I think they were husbands, right?
2 husbands. She got 2 husbands.
2 husbands, and it was an extra because it was 3 men.
Oh, is it 3 men? Oh, yeah, she got 3 husbands.
Okay, so 3. So in that thought, I would think she's probably setting some boundaries and rules for everybody, and they're just cool with it. Wow. But it's probably a group. I mean, you got to agree to it, or else you can't. And so where we think that might be odd, but swingers and all these other sexual groups, they've been setting rules and boundaries for years. And so now we're talking about actual relationships.
This is an actual relationship. And I think the biggest thing is, this is not a relationship that a narcissist could be in. They may want to, but they can't, because a narcissist has to be in control the whole time. Or if he can't, or if he or she cannot be in control, then that means the people that they're with has to be totally submissive to what they're doing. Meaning the narcissist can do whatever they want to do, but the other people that's in it got to be on them, whatever, agree with it. So a true narcissist, I don't think, could do this relationship.
If the true narcissist was a Kevin Wesley, probably could, because he's got, from outside looking in, there's control over that household. He's got the full control, and they're just kind of okay with how it all happens.
But is he a narcissist?
No, I don't know that. That's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That was not the point.
Yeah, when you look at being in control is one thing, but being a narcissist is something different. Yeah. See, a narcissist doesn't take ownership to what they've been wrong with, and so that means a narcissist can't live with the rules. If you set rules and boundaries, a narcissist can't do that, because remember, everything is somebody else's fault.
Or in the sense of they're not going to follow a rule because based on their emotion or their feeling at that moment, that rule may not apply or does not work with them. So they would not be willing to follow it.
Yeah.
So I could see that part.
Yeah. But I bet you some out here trying.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All I know is don't come to me with a conversation of poly and use biblical as your background, because a lot of times people want to bring up the Bible and stuff, and when I remind them that in that lifetime the expectation was you to take care of both households, honey, you can't even afford half the rent here, so
that
not
whole
a
part.
possibility. So and those are some things that I because I've had some conversations with gentlemen about it and stuff, and I say, if you're going to be you. Don't try to find some justification or anything because you want to say that, as a king in Africa, that's what I was intended to do. No, in the king in Africa, he took care. He was the provider. He was the protector. He made sure that his sons were already in line to where they were going to be to take over the next place where he was. He made sure that his daughters were set up to be prepared for the next man that was good as him to be there. If you're not doing all that, please don't compare yourself to anything in the past. And own up what you want to do right now. I just want to sleep with a bunch of women. Be honest. Then that way I can deal with you in that way. So then I can say, well, let me find somebody for you then.
Again, let me have the choice.
Yes.
Exactly.
Give me the choice. And that's why I was saying, I had somebody tell me, he said, you know what? I just want you to be my concubine. I said, oh. And I said, let me think about that. Thank you for letting me know up front what your expectations are. Because then you gave me a choice whether or not I can say yes. Or no.
And I might say yes. Because I might just need to be the concubine right now. I just might need to be
I might just need you on Wednesday.
At 6 o'clock.
I'm a boss lady and I got my other business going on and I don't have time to be talking to you every day. I don't have time to try to meet you for lunch and stuff, and I don't feel like doing all that coddling and everything else. I got a business to run. So I see you on Wednesday. Don't call no more, don't call no less. I'm gonna see you then.
Because maintenance man is real.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, just being transparent. I mean, we have to start, and this is why I'm really one of the reasons why I'm doing this show. Because a lot of people, okay, I'll put it out there. A lot of people say, well, you in ministry, how you talking about this? Well, we need to be talking about this because that's what everybody doing. We need to start telling the truth.
Because your pastor got 4 women in the church right now. That's why. So that's why we doing this.
I done passed out 12,000 times. We're not just talking about your male pastor. Some of y'all got female pastors.
Oh, these female pastors.
This is cross sexuality. So don't even start putting I'm sorry, cross gender. So don't be start trying to put it on a gender.
I'm saying in general because people in ministry for years, men, women have crossed relationships. Have all these deacons got babies over here with this missionary, but he married to this missionary, and she over here with the man at home because he don't come to church, but that's her husband at home. But on Friday after Bible study, she go with this guy over here with the choir director, and now she got a baby by the choir director, but they didn't do DNA tests back then, so you don't know until the funeral that your brother is your half brother. So no, the church has had all kind of multiple relationships going on all this time. And I'm going to tell you, like I tell people all the time, see, some people think that just because you're not saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost at the moment, doesn't mean that you don't know scripture, doesn't mean that you don't have discernment, don't mean you don't have conviction. Because see, at the end of the day, when the devil left the heaven, didn't he know something? He had to know something. But I always say that a lot of times people don't like to, they don't like to be
separate our gift from our sin.
Exactly.
Just because I'm anointed and called to do something does not mean that I don't have a sin, that I don't have a vice that will take me out. And that's what that's why we're having these real conversations, because this is why we're keep seeing the same cycle happen over and over and over, because we don't talk about this. Oh, this the church. We don't talk about sex. How you got here? You had to have something.
The truth is the truth. You got pastors still today in 2022 confessing of cheating.
Yep.
With multiple women. It is 2022. And everybody now is old so-called woke and saved and the new God, and we don't do the old things that people used to do because those rules was wrong, but you're still doing the same type of sins. So it ain't what the rules are, and ain't what the Bible is saying, it's what your actions are, and the things that have been accepted have not been talked about and have not been healed from. It's simple as that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So I tell people I have dated several ministers, and I won't say never, but God, please don't. I won't date any more ministers or pastors. I have found them to be the most hypocritical
Absolutely.
that I've ever experienced. At least the men, like I said, deal with the devil that you know than the devil that you don't.
Mm.
Because when you go into a relationship with someone that you believe has made God his priority and serving him his priority, and you have that same thoughts and desires, and then you get into that relationship and you're experiencing the same thing that your friends who's dealing with whatever it is, it changes your heart. It changes your, and my trust level has been affected by that because of ministry, is what I see.
Yeah.
It's almost to the point. I'd rather be with a thug. I'm just putting it out there because 9 times out of 10, he gonna be straight up. Baby, you ain't the only one.
Yep. I'll be back though.
I'll be back though. So,
Right.
or I can't. You want that? I can't give that to you. But if you want this, I can do this. I'm like, oh,
Right.
Thank you,
Right.
Tracy.
Thank you. Yes. Because, as you grow older, when you're young, you have so many conversations as young lady. I don't know about y'all, but I grew up Church of God in Christ. And it was always about young ladies, you hold yourselves. Oh, young ladies, you keep yourselves, stay a virgin. Didn't give those conversations very often to the young men. But then as I got older and I started, I'm gonna try to keep my family out of this, but I can say this. I have seen so much of the women doing what they were supposed to do for the sake of keeping face for that man, and they still embarrass them. And it's sad. And it's sad that women go into church when we are seeking Christ to change us, to help us, to mend us, to heal us. And then you have people that take advantage. Then on the other end of that, when you have women, that when the dynamics change of the men in leadership, that women became in leadership, and that's okay. Now we have women pastors, but you take on the same sins and the same deceitfulness that the men have. It does not make it better. It actually makes it worse because now we have two entities in the church that are leading, that are still putting people out in the same position that they were in. Headed to hell. And I don't want to follow those things, like those are some things that we don't be honest about in our church. And I hate that because we're so intelligent now. It's not in a situation of where we were enslavements and stuff, and now we didn't have the education, we didn't have the thought process. We are now able to go and analyze everything that's happened, but we haven't changed our behaviors.
Nope.
that's the thing. That is the thing. And and it gets real sticky when we start talking about these type of topics. We start talking about we ain't got to worry about no side chicks and no main chicks in the church. Yes, you do. We ain't got to worry about nobody doing poly in the church. Baby, yes, you do.
They have plenty of agreements.
Yeah.
Plenty of agreements.
Yeah.
And understandings.
You don't know where everybody lives, and you don't know what everybody doing in their own self house.
There are secretaries in the church, just like there are secretaries in the business, and those men and women are still messing with their secretaries.
Yep. My old church, the pastor, Lord bless his heart, it's like 4 women and a wife. So the wife had her pew, and each woman had her pew. I'd be doggone if one of them women, somebody was sitting in her pew and she done acted a whole fool about the pew. And you not the wife. You just the 4th or 5th one.
Yeah, that part.
But at the same time, the main chick, the first lady, she stayed.
Yeah, sit right up front with the hat on.
So back to the main chick, side chick. Is that a poly relationship because you know what's happening in your church? You know what's happening with those pews, and you're still there? Is that still considered a open or a poly type relationship? As long as you still keep me the first lady?
Hey. And again, real conversations for the grown and sexy.
Yeah.
Because we have to talk about these things and think about these things. And sometimes you can't turn your nose up to something that works for somebody else either.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Because being in these relationships, like I heard people talk about the pluses of being in a poly relationship or open relationship. Because even when I was watching them shows, they were like, I really don't like the jealousy. I don't like the the time, but at the end of the day, I got somebody to help me with my kids. But and that's really why a lot of the women were doing it, because now I can go do my business and now we can, we kind of switch off on who helps with the kids. But in my mind, I'm like, isn't that why you got a husband? But anyway, that's a whole different situation. But it's like, what do you do? How do you handle it? Because everything has its pros and cons. Like some people can't be in a monogamous relationship. Are we built to be monogamous? Technically, we are, because we were built and historically raised to be breeders.
Yeah.
Want to talk about why the black man may not be able to stay, because it ain't. Everybody want to go back to slavery for everything else. So let's go all the way back there too and talk about why they don't stay. Because a lot of times they were breeders, and after they done slept with every woman there, got her all pregnant, they done went to the next. Oh yeah, y'all, he makes some good ones. Let me make some good field hands.
Exactly.
Let me see that plantation. That we need to. We talk about so many things, but we don't talk about what the results of stuff is.
You're going to hurt somebody's feelings with that statement, because there are some men who will, be in this new the woke movement or whatever that they call it, and will not correlate their desire to pollinate with all these children and stuff as a slave mentality. Yeah. They will not equate the fact that they have a child and leave the child with a slave mentality. They will not do that because that is a level of honesty and responsibility of making a change that some people don't want to do. That's crazy.
And okay, so since I'm being so transparent tonight, because y'all know I ain't got no problem with telling my business.
Neither do we.
Baby. Okay, so met dude, right? Y'all know I'm single, never been married, and I don't have children. Okay, let me go ahead and put this disclaimer, and I'm 52. So dude say, so you want a baby? I was like, yeah, but I do believe that ship has sailed. I'm not sure that we can do that. Then he say, you know what?
Right, Tracy.
Wait a minute, it gets gooder. It gets gooder, y'all. It gets gooder. It's super sperm, because I got 6 kids by 6 baby mamas, and you want to be number 7? And in my mind, so I was like, me being ignorant. So you should try to say, I could be your number of completion.
You want to end it all with me?
I can help you with that.
So if if I get you get this baby, you gonna be able to take care of this baby. So I was like, so what you trying to say? That I'm supposed to take care of the baby, but you're not gonna take care of the baby. So it's just gonna be me taking care of the baby.
Tracy.
So I'm confused. That's right. Ship has come in and gone out. That part right there.
It got lost at sea.
Yep. Let's get to all the angles. Because y'all, this was a real conversation. I felt like Macaulay Culkin. Like, seriously? I was like, really? Really? But again, in his mind, it's all good.
I would say, baby, that's all you got to offer me is a baby. That's it.
Well, if that's what you want, because if you want, because I'm trying to make.
Because I can do that right. I can do that.
I can make them. I make some good babies. I make some good. What's your resume? I make
babies. I got super sperm.
How old is this man?
40.
Nope, get done. That's it. Conversation.
He ain't quite 50. He's not quite 50, but he got some
conversation. It ended if he was over 28. Like, why are you still doing it? That's a mess. You close to 50. You still trying to have babies? No, sit down.
Because he can do it right.
Because he can do it right. Because he got super sperm.
No, thank you.
Yo, I do one thing. I do one thing
and I do one thing.
And then you just tell him you got one job.
I thought this meme would be. I like, seriously, I cannot make these things up. The conversations that I have, people think I'm lying when I tell you this was a real conversation. And I was like, oh. Okay,
that's a good one. I probably will laugh.
Let's talk about it. Well, did you at least test it out to see if it was good?
Now that part we will not put on TV.
Practice makes perfect, but you ain't gonna make it over here.
Well, let me just see, because
As I sip my tea.
and that's okay.
Right.
We have needs.
When I tell y'all some of the stuff that I have heard in the past couple of weeks, it's just been like a bunch to me. It's not the baby, it's the practice.
Not the baby.
That
It's
part.
practice.
That part. That whole part. Y'all gonna worked up a sweat. But you know, it's like
Thinking.
again, being transparent and having these real conversations and knowing you have the mentality of a breeder.
Mhm.
You have the mentality of a breeder, and that is crazy to me.
Mhm. Mm.
And I'm like,
It
oh,
is.
okay.
Man.
And you
And
know what?
I got several
And,
degrees
and,
in
and us
that about.
women, some of us women still have the mentality of it's my duty to support that. And that is still the same type of situation in a slave mentality, if you want to take it there, that
Mhm.
we are in acceptance of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I am her, hey, I have 2 children out of wedlock. I'll be the first one to say my faults.
Yeah.
Now, neither of my children's father have any other children besides mine. But at the same time, it was that acceptance of I'll still take care of this child with or without you. I
Yeah.
still will do this with or without you. That is a mentality I should not have myself, because it should be I need you. So
Yeah.
I'm going to push
Exactly.
you because I need you, because my child needs you. So that is the same thing. And I have reprogrammed. I talked to not my son's father, but my daughter's father. We have those conversations.
Mhm.
We need each other to produce the best child we can.
Yeah.
And that is our job. So yeah.
And the crazy part about what you just said, 6 years ago, maybe 7, I probably would have said yes to that offer because I was going through my biological clock is ticking.
Yeah.
Going to the fertility and they're telling me that my eggs, that I would have to get donor sperm and eggs. So if
Mm.
I had this conversation 7 years ago, I probably would have been like, okay, because I didn't care. I had already made up in my mind, I want a child and I'm going to do this by myself. So you ain't got to stay. I just need you what? As a sperm donor.
Just, look,
That I know how to pay for.
let's make sure my baby's intelligent. That's all I'm asking.
That's all I'm saying.
What's your IQ score?
And you know, and I think that's a lot of times when we do make these decisions that are off, because we are looking at our biological clock. We are listening to what the doctors are saying that, oh, you too old and you this and you that. And we go through that and we make these crazy
So what you doing in the next 10 minutes?
I don't know.
Mm-mm.
That's funny. Tracy, you said it.
Practicing.
Right.
But you know, it's like we have got to really, y'all. Oh Lord, y'all, we done went over on the show tonight. We have got to,
It was good. It was good.
we've got to really start to put these real boundaries in place, and then accepting that it's okay that we don't have what every other woman has, because like I really do get tired of showing up. A lot of times people say, well, why don't you do this and why don't you? I said, because a lot of times I don't have anything in common with the women that I have in my circle, because yes, we may all be single, but they have children or are in relationships. So I feel like the odd man out. So it's like it's kind of hard for me to get into those mixes. And then I started feeling, well, shucks, I might as well just go on and go over here with Pookie, who got super sperm.
And practice a little bit.
Practice a little bit.
A little bit.
Give me a
And send
baby.
him on my way so I can go back to running my business.
Huh?
I said, then send him on his way so he can go back to running the business. So,
Absolutely. But you know, and that's the whole thing, is that we get twisted in what's around us. We start to let our surroundings take over us. And I think that's part of why we begin to start to settle.
Yeah. But we also have to
Too
know
late, honey. You should have caught this a little early because we getting ready to shut this down.
yeah.
You got to go back and watch the replay because it's fire. But
as we heal, knowing we gotta do what's best for us.
right.
What does that look like? And not do what everybody else is doing, not following the Joneses, not following Boom Quita and Sasha and whoever else over there.
Or our mama.
Mm-hmm.
Or our mama.
Yeah.
And grandmama.
Mm-hmm.
It's your own.
It's your
Yeah.
own. And then I can't tell you who to love. Just because everybody in your family is married to somebody that's 6'6", and you done fell in love with somebody that's 5'4", you can't let your family take you out of your thought process
Yeah.
because of who you have fallen in love with.
Mm-hmm.
You have got to know beyond the shadow of a doubt what you expect, and not paying attention to what everybody else is saying. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta do what's best for you.
Now, I'm not saying go out there and get somebody that ain't got no job and can't take care of you. Now, I'm not saying that because I'm gonna look at you a little twisted too. Nah,
But if he make you happy,
but
But
he
he
might
got that super sperm.
have that super, but you know he might do. He might have that super sperm and make you happy, and that's
A
fine.
lot of times,
But there got to be some financial plan. But you know, let me take all of that back because you might be okay with a stay-at-home dude, and if that dude, if it's an equal conversation, and y'all have worked that out, then yeah, go for it. Do you, boo? Because I can't tell you who to love, and I can't tell you what works for your household. And that's something else, y'all. We're gonna have another show about taking care of your own self business.
yes.
Because you done broke up a lot of people over some foolishness because you told, oh girl, I wouldn't put up with that. Well, you wouldn't because you ain't in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you are experiencing
You did
it
say it
and
out
you
loud.
want somebody else to do what you wish you could do.
That part.
Because there's just as many giving you advice, dealing with the same thing, but they have to give you that advice because if they didn't, they would be admitting that they're experiencing what you are. And so there are several women in this world that want to make sure that they maintain this on top of everybody else. So they belittle your relationship, even though they're doing the same thing you're doing, crying the same tears, having the same desires not happening. But in order for them to make them feel good, they have to tell you to leave.
Yeah.
And I always watch a woman who gives me advice because a lot of times those women who want to voluntarily give it to you, they are just expressing their own feelings for themselves that they can't do.
Yeah. And my circle, hey, they all know I'm never gonna tell them to leave their man because you ain't gonna tell me to leave mine.
You got that right.
We can be there to support each other, talk, but never gonna tell you to leave. Not unless he beating you, and then I'm just gonna look at you like you.
All I'm gonna do is hold you accountable for who you are to be, who I've known you to be. Outside of that, you make your decision. But I'm gonna tell you, did you do the best thing? Did you do what you were supposed to do? How did you react to that situation? What I'm gonna ask those type of questions because your choice of leaving sometimes is you're being selfish because you're being spoiled. And we are. I know some of my group of friends. Yes, we have been self-sufficient for a long time. So some of the decisions we make is because we are okay with being self-sufficient. But if you really want to be in a relationship, are you making some adjustments?
That part.
Oh yeah, that's major.
And that's what I'm gonna ask my friends. Have you made some adjustments? Now, if you made them adjustments and they still ain't got the act right, then do what you do. But make sure you made your adjustments because it's better to walk away and say I did all that I can and what I was supposed to do than to walk away and say I wish I did it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then watch your friends that have high insecurities. Because if they are insecure, they are not going to give you good advice because they're operating in insecurity. And you know, and that's something that it's hard, but it's hard to even pull yourself away from those people because you're trying to go up and you're trying to spread your wings and you're trying to expand, then they're going to be the ones that hold you back because they are insecure. And then you getting caught up like, wait a minute, you the one said this. But in all reality, it's their insecurities falling over onto you.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say is, in your friend girl circle, be mindful of all the negative things you say about that man or your partner, whatever that may be. Don't just tell the negative because now you've tainted your friend's perspective. You want it good and bad or nothing at all.
I vote nothing at all.
I
Until
vote
you
nothing at all.
know
Yeah.
what's really going on. Because see, some of your friend girls that you think is your friend girl, and I'm gonna sound like my mama. They waiting to hear what you saying bad because they think they can come back and do the exact opposite so they can get your man.
Yep.
Or
Indeed.
they want to hear the good so that they can see if they can take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you can't have friends and share what you're going through, but you got to know that that's your real friend, that that's somebody you can really trust and be good with, because everybody don't need to be in your be in your relationship. And I'm gonna talk to the single women. Single women, be single women. If you got married friends, be the friend. You got to be the friend to the husband and the wife. Because again, at working in ministry, I'll never forget my partner. He was married, and I would call the house because we working on a project, and I'd be like, "Look here," I'd be like, the wife answer, I say, "Hey, girl, what's up?" We was, I say, I would ask for the husband. I say, "Hey, we got homework to do. Is your husband free?" She's like, "Girl, stop playing." He go, but she knew I didn't disrespect her.
Yeah.
That's a level of respect and integrity you have for yourself.
Yes.
And that's something that is internal. And everybody doesn't have that. That is why we still, back to circle around what our original conversation was about. That is why there are so many women that are on social media being able to say, I took your man, or I am sleeping with your man. I am having a baby by your man. He's yours, but I utilize him in the fashion that I want him. There's no integrity.
Right.
Tracy said, "Deborah, you're both our friends." I know, girl.
Yeah.
Because my married friends, I'm both of their friends because I'm like, that don't make no sense.
Hey, my married friends, they get a group chat. When I text the husband anything, hey, I'm texting both of you. She ain't even gonna reply, but I'm gonna make sure you know that this ain't no sidebar conversations. I don't play them games with people. So yeah, definitely.
That whole part. And you have to be respectful. And y'all, if nothing else, if y'all got nothing else from tonight, know that you have the wherewithal within you to be the real woman that you have been called to be. You don't have to settle for anything. Yes, I know your biological clock is ticking. Witness, yes, I know you want to be with somebody, you want to have some big feet in your bed. Witness, yes, you want somebody to help you with the bills. Witness, but how much of yourself are you going to, how much of your integrity, of your wherewithal are you going to give up to get that?
Yeah.
And I'm going to let y'all got any closing remarks?
I don't have any.
Great conversation.
Yes, it was good.
So, y'all, for y'all that's just joining us, make sure that y'all are with us on Thursday. I'm going to put this up here again. I'm going to put the way tickets, because what y'all got to say about next Thursday?
Get your ticket. This
because if you enjoy tonight,
it's gonna be knowledge. This is the thing that we can't do too much when it comes to different type of relationships, but if you learn about it, you might be able to handle some things a little bit differently. You might be able to converse with some people a little bit more than you did before. So I'm all about learning and growing. So I'm ready for this topic.
Yes.
And what is the topic, ladies?
Poly.
So this show is open to everybody, whether you married or single, in a relationship, not in a relationship. This is the night for you to come in and ask all questions. We have our guest, our special guest, trust and believe, has no problems with talking about nothing.
Nothing.
So I need y'all to go get y'all tickets. We have set things up. It will be private. That's why it's exclusive. This probably will not replay anywhere. So if you miss it, I don't know what to
tell you. I can be me. Okay, let's do that.
I don't know what to tell you if you miss it. So because my business partners are like, so you gonna put this on the network after? I said, I don't know. It all depends on how juicy this conversation is. I said it was going to be exclusive, so I don't know. So I don't even know. Okay, and then for pre-sale tickets are only $20. They're only $20. We're using Hop-In, so you can still come from the comfort of your own home. You can be able to log in. You even have a place where you can ask questions. That's why we're doing it in this intimate setting. So you will have, so you will be, you don't, and then you can ask a question without saying it's you asking the question, because we got a private chat.
Ooh,
We ask
anonymous.
when you register, you can put your question on your registration form. And if you don't want us to say your name, just say, don't say my name. But we will make sure that that question is asked, because y'all, we want you to feel comfortable, because again, this is why we're doing the relationship series. So we're talking about everything, because Conversations with Deborah Franklin is conversations with what? The grown and sexy. So we are having grown folk conversation. The one that, okay, so make sure the baby's at the room, put your headphones on, put one in so you can hear the conversation, and then put the other one out so you can hear the babies.
Just go in the room and shut the door. Shut the door.
Yeah. This is gonna be grown folk talk. Cause for my married free people, I already know he's gonna be talking about his products that help you stimulate certain areas and make things rise and shine and get stimulated and lubricated.
Yeah, he was talking about some stuff last week. I thought to myself, wait a minute, what's that?
We got registered. All right, Tracy. Thank you.
Yay, Tracy. Get it, girl.
About this.
Yes. Y'all, when I tell you, this gonna be crazy. So make sure you sharing this with your friends. We want y'all to come out and hear, because it's gonna be fire. I don't even know what. Okay, so can I have another transparent moment?
Yes.
No, looking at him, I was questioning, because I was like, Ariel, you sure we should do this? You sure we should be talking?
And I'm all about it. Let's do it. I got questions.
I sure do.
Right. So, y'all, we are definitely stepping out in something new. I'll be honest with you, this is a new venture for us to be doing exclusive evening conversations. But I'm trying to tell you, the exclusive evening conversations gonna always be private, and they gonna always be fire. And you just never know who gonna be in there. So again, we got it opened up. When you register, you can ask any question. We will make sure that the guest is there, because, okay, and this is another reason why I booked him. I wanted to book him as well, is because he is so open in the conversation. You can pretty much ask him anything, and he's going to answer. And every time I've seen him, he's had open conversations. And he gives. You might not agree with what he says, but it makes sense.
Honest.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's his honest opinion about whatever it is.
And that's so much appreciated. You got to have somebody that's going to be honest. We don't want to show. We want the truth. What's happening? What are you experiencing? We want all that.
Yeah. That's why it's going to be me and my co-host on the stage with our special guest. And because you already know, I'll be like, and I might have to ask
you. Wait, explain that, because that's what I'm going to say. Explain that. I need to hear all the details. That's why I need to be private, because I like details.
Oh my goodness.
Such a clap.
Right.
Y'all better get registered. Tell your friends, tell your pals. Because after Thursday, you can't come at us and say you don't know, because we gave you the information. It's up to you to show up. Well, all right, guys. I love you to life, and ain't nothing you can do about it. I need y'all to make sure, again, that you go register. We put the link in the comments. If you got any questions, you can inbox either any one of us. And that's the crazy part. We are on all social media platforms. You give a shout out to Sexy Single Shooting Shots. Y'all, that group is hilarious. That's kind of like where I saw Kevin. I see some other show ideas in there too. But that's what I said. You think we have to do a show on
that one? You know what? We might need a conversation about the online dating life.
That's where I met my baby.
Absolutely. Well, okay, so that's a whole nother show, because see, I need to know how you meet a good one, because if everybody I done met so far been just like, Lord Jesus,
that's like a conversation of a conversation.
That was running from the law. I said I done met an outlaw. I done met one dressed out of jail.
She got her prison boot.
I'm the jail girl face? I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna end the show, because I can keep going about that, baby. Yeah, that's gonna that thing right there is gonna be fire. We're gonna be talking about online dating. Y'all get ready now. That might be a private show.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell it all, because
I got it.
Oh my my goodness.
Right. It was some oh my
I told y'all I done dated them pastors and some of them been online. I'm gonna tell you about that.
Mhm.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, we gotta go, y'all.